Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm filming this so that it will go up on Monday, which is Labor Day. So happy Labor Day to everybody. We're going to do a very quick rapid fire video today, but I wanted something to go up in celebration of Labor Day. And because it is Labor Day, we are going to be talking about some recommendations on workplace romance and the steamy and the forbidden. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. I am Jen and this is Bookmarked by Jen. We are talking about some workplace romances today. Let's do it. First off, I want to say I love workplace romance when it's done really well. I have 5 books here. Like I said, we're going to do rapid fire on these. I think that they're done pretty well. There is a little difference in the workplace, but you know, for all intents and purposes, workplace romances are like yummy to me. They have a little bit of a soft spot for me because I myself have been involved in a workplace romance. That forbiddenness, the taboo of like not being able to be together and having to have like it be a secret. It's really fun to start off with. It is not fun longevity wise. It can get a little tedious and a little boring to have to always hide, but it is fun in the beginning for sure. In my case, it worked out really well for me. I ended up marrying my boss, so I mean, you know, crazy things can happen. These things can happen. Okay, so let's get into it. First up, I have The Season of Secrets by QB Tyler. I could have picked so many books by QB Tyler that involve some type of workplace romance, but this one is like, I think like my favorite workplace romance from her so far. I just love Wes. There is something about Wes Beckham that just really butters my biscuit. I mean, seriously, I don't know what it is about him, but I could just read and I could do so many things to Wes Beckham. So it's between Wes and Reagan. He has been obsessed with her ever since he hired her. He is the billionaire CEO of a company, and you know, she obviously is attracted to him. She does daydream, but she never thinks that she can like catch the billionaire CEO until their holiday Christmas party when, you know, things start heating up. Wes, whoo, when you've got a dirty talking CEO, dirty talking, it doesn't matter. He could be a millionaire, billionaire. He could be not an heir at all. The dirty talking boss is really yummy. Really yummy. And there is one scene in particular that I am thinking of. If you know, you know. Essentially, Reagan wants to know what her flavoring is, and so Wes obliges in the most, well, it's a hot scene. Okay, anyway, let's move on. There's spice. It's QB Tyler, so there's a little spice. Wes has a dirty mouth, like I said. He likes to share. It's not very angsty. There's no back and forth drama, which I really appreciated. It's very straightforward. It is a little bit longer than a novella. I think it is actually considered a novella. I don't know. Whatever it is, but it is. It was really good. The banter, the fun side characters. It was just a really good time. All set in the workplace. We're moving on to, I mean, I couldn't talk about workplace romance and really not talk about like one of the books that spawned it, and spawned a lot of things for me, which is Praised by Sarah Kate. I mean, you've been around, you've probably read this, but it deserves its place right here. So this, you know, Charlotte and Emerson, another man that is just has my heart, Emerson Grant. This book, again, has a little piece of my heart, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so Emerson mistakes her for someone else when they first meet, but then realizes and gets a little embarrassed, like minor embarrassment that she is in fact actually his estranged son's ex-girlfriend. But he ends up hiring her anyway because he does need an assistant. I loved that Charlotte was very intrigued by the Salacious Players Club and what all that entailed. You know, there are many facets and sides to BDSM, and I loved that this book really was educational for me. Like, not only did it have the spice and the great side characters that some of them get their own books in the subsequent books after this because it is the first book in that series. But I also loved how Sarah Kate really dove into BDSM and how it works and how it is not a one size fits all, that you can tailor it to your needs and your partner's needs. And I really guess I knew that, but really reading about it, I liked. Like, you can experiment with that, and I liked the educational part of it, but temptation is really hot, and there is temptation with Emerson and Charlotte, and I also really loved watching Charlotte come into her own. She's exploring what she likes because she is able to explore what she likes with Emerson. Like, he wants her to explore, and their dynamic is such that he is the boss. So, I mean, I like that dynamic too while they're playing scenes and while they're doing stuff. Like, he is that dom to her sub, but there is, he brings in that like bossy manner too, which I just, it was a phenomenal read. Also, Emerson's a daddy. I've grown to really love that. Overall, I just thought that this was a phenomenal read. It does hold a special place for me because it opened me up to the world of BDSM in books, and it showed me a new way that I could really appreciate. And I also appreciated how Sarah Kate was able to tell this amazing story and set up for the next books while also educating you on this world, and so that you could take it on and educate yourself a little bit more if you needed to. But it's a phenomenal book. We had to talk about this. Next up, I have Love to Hate Her by J. Simon. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and if I am not, please let me know. I would like to say that correctly. Jasper and Viola. I've talked about this a couple times. This is also in my Rockstar Romance recommendation video that I did. I'll leave it in a card and down below for you. I fell in love with these characters, especially Jasper's daughter, Adeline, the cutest child in a book, or at least one of the cutest children in a book, and I think maybe like the only child in these books, so the cutest child in this recommendation video. So Jasper is a rock star. Viola dated his twin brother when they were like in high school and coming up to becoming famous rock stars, but he cheated and they separated, and they haven't seen each other for a long time. But now Jasper has a daughter, but she's also special needs. So he needs somebody who can become a nanny to Adeline, but also has the proper training, that's where Viola comes in. Not only does she have the training, but she has the credentials as well. This is what she went to school for. But he is about to start touring, and he does not want to go on tour without his daughter, which I thought was really admirable. Like, he wanted to just bring her along and show her the world while also giving her everything that she needs. So here comes Viola, and here comes the angst. So as opposed to the Season of Secrets, this one has angst. This one has slow burn. Just when you think these two are going to get together, you're slapped in the face with cold water, and it's pulled back, and we're like, no, no, you gotta wait. There's a little bit of like unrequited love there, but then it's like turned into where Jasper is like, I'm just gonna be an asshole because I want her so much, and it's just easier to be an asshole than like go after what I want. But it was like in such a good way. I really loved the banter between these two. It was amazing. And then you throw in Adeline, who I really appreciated being a part of the story because, again, Viola is there for a reason. So, where's the kid? But Adeline was like front and center, and I love those little moments with her and Viola, and how she was even teaching Jasper like how to communicate better with her because, everybody is different and everybody learns differently. So I love that little aspect. That just kind of, I don't know, tugged on this mama's little heart just that little bit more. Overall, fantastic story. Definitely recommend. Next up, we have Hate Notes by Vi Keelan and Penelope Ward. These two are amazing authors. I've talked about them numerous times on this channel, but together, they are phenomenal authors together. I've read several of their books as standalone authors, and I've read several of their books together, and it's just dynamite. This one is between Charlotte and Reed. So Charlotte goes to sell her unused wedding dress. There is a story there. You can read it to find out. But she goes to sell her unused wedding dress, but she ends up trading said dress for another wedding dress that, no, she does not need. But when she tries it on, she finds this blue note that is kind of like stitched into the stitching. It's in the seams. It's stitched into the stitching. I don't know. But it's in the lining. That's what I'm trying to say. It's in the lining of the dress. It's stitched into the lining of the dress. Gosh, I mean, Jen. So then Charlotte concocts this like beautiful love story in her head. And I think like maybe she needed that because she is not getting her beautiful love story just yet since she's not using that dress. Needing to find the owner of this letter, she does some sleuthing and she finds said owner, but really that's where it ends, because like her fantasy ends there. It's not the beautiful love story that she envisioned. She ends up working for Reed, and Reed is just not the person that she thought he was after she read this letter. And then it goes from there. And I like their dynamic because it's more of a grumpy sunshine. There is a little twist at the end. You get to learn a little bit more about what is going on with this letter and why said letter was there and all this. And it was just like, not like a romantic suspense or anything, but I just thought it was a good read. I really enjoyed this read. Okay, last but not least is Yours Truly by Daisy Jane. So this is between Trace and Ivy. This is the second book in the Twisted Sisters series. Ivy is, I wouldn't say like the darkest, because they all have dark, but what I really loved about Ivy and what I really loved about the series and what I really love about Daisy Jane is, you know how we like over the top alpha asshole male characters. She does the opposite. She creates an alpha female that is not over the top. I'm over the top in the sense of like the over the top that we like, but not over the top where it's like annoying, right? It's the perfect over the top alpha female she creates. And I love it. It's like we love their counterparts, but when she creates this, it's top notch. So if you haven't read any of her, especially with the Twisted Sisters, I haven't read a lot of her backlist, but what I have read, she writes really, really great female characters. Anyway, so Trace is a well-known tattoo artist. He has even been on like a tattoo shows, like think of Inked or something like that. So he's very well known. He also is very well known for being the bad boy. He is coming to Ivy's small town so that she can become his apprentice. She's already a really amazing artist, but she wants to learn a little bit more, learn some techniques, and become the tattoo artist that she wants to become. She's really excited to apprenticeship underneath him. But then she meets him, and she is just floored at who he is. Like I said, Trace is very well known, but he's known for being a bad boy with a bad boy image. And instead of trying to correct that image, he just leans into it. And Ivy is just not having it. So she does what Ivy does best and what any alpha female would do best, and she gets a male chastity belt and locks up his goods. She locks up his sausages and potatoes, okay? And she says that he has to stay like that until he can become a good boy. And it's funny, it's hot, it's sexy, it's a really good time. It's a really good time. It really is just really funny because she is determined to make him behave. And I think that that's exactly what he needed. He needed a woman to take charge because he was not going to change himself. So, as all we like the women who get dominated, she just became the female dom, and it was phenomenal. The back and forth with them working together and building that tension as well, and the banter and everything, it just made this story even better. And there you go. I'm only doing 5 because, like I said, I wanted to do rapid fire as much as possible with me talking so that you can get back to doing whatever you're doing on this Labor Day. I want you to drop your favorite workplace romances down below now. Let's have a conversation about it. Do you even like workplace romances? Have you read workplace romances? There are a ton of them. All right, I'm going to catch you really soon in my August reading wrap-up. Stay tuned for that. It'll be coming out later this week. But until then, happy reading. Bye.